welcome back to my channel. So today's just going to be a quick update. I actually have been sick all week. I think I picked something up when I was on my work trip and I have been dealing with that since like Monday. Energy is very low and I just have not gotten a lot done, but that doesn't mean that progress hasn't been made because I am someone who really struggles with rest. So I'd still work on my build periodically. So this will just be a quick update of what I've done so far. We're almost done with this build. The dress is done. The wig is done. Thank you all who have watched full walkthrough videos of that build. The feedback has been phenomenal. I've really enjoyed seeing everyone's reaction and I'm still incredibly impressed with everyone who watched the entirety of the dress video and left me a duck or a cat emoji because it's a long video and I'm very impressed that you guys sat through that, especially since a lot of it is 2-year-old footage, bad camera and bad lighting and bad audio, but I'm glad you still enjoyed it. And of course, welcome to all of my new subscribers. We made it to 3,000 subscribers before my birthday, which is super exciting. Thank you for the wonderful birthday present. Speaking of, my birthday is next week and I have some friends down, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to get done because we are finally going to go to Epic Universe and do a bunch of other fun things. I don't know what I'm going to get done next week. Hopefully I'll have some more progress to show you. So what have I worked on? To be fair, not all of this progress is within the last week. I have been working on some things periodically for the past few weeks, but let me get you caught up to speed. And of course, as always, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hype it so more people can see my content, and subscribe for more videos from me. So let's start with the staff. So for those who have been with me for a while now, you know that I started the staff many months ago, before I remade the dress, I think, and I just wound up not liking the overall design. I actually have it here. This is the original staff. It's not finished. The black is a foam primer and then the white is a mixture of foam clay and 3D print, and the gold pieces you see, they were going to get painted over. I was using them to create like a shape, but this was the original design, which I liked at the time, but I have gotten a little better at sculpting 3D prints, so I realized it was very boxy, and so I decided to go ahead and remake it. I do really like the size and the shape, but I put this to the side, and back in March, I redesigned it using a different picture. So the one I just showed you is from the front cover, but in the back of the book, there's another picture. And the thing with Sakizo is that her artwork changes, like the designs change from picture to picture. So the front dress is specifically the design that I decided to make. So when you open it up, it's similar, but there's a lot of things that are different. There's different jewels, there's different lace designs. The basic design of the dress is the same, but the details are different. So it's very important when you're building a Sakizo and you're wanting to compete, is that for reference, you give them the appropriate photos and show where you pulled each piece from. So I will be submitting this photo as well in my build book, because this is the design staff that I decided to do. So it's got more of it's a completely different shape. I thought it was a bit more simplified and something I'd be able to pull off better in 3D print than the first one, but it still has some elements, as in the winged angel-like figure at the top and the orb in the middle. So I remade it, and I'm afraid I made it too big, but I'm kind of just gonna go with it. So I'm just gonna have a giant staff. I think proportionally with the size of the dress and the wig, it'll all look fine, but I just don't want to redo it because this took forever to print. So everything but the angel up here is 3D print. It is 4 pieces that hooked together with some pegs here, and then it's just glued together at the top and in the middle. This took days to print. The bottom pieces are almost 20 hours a piece, so just this section right here, like 20 hours. And I think the tops are about 16 because I'm printing it on a higher quality print just so that I don't have to do as much sanding and priming later. I'm not good at Blender, though I try my best. I have made a couple things in Blender. My Ravenna crown is made in Blender. This one would be great for Blender, but I struggle with that tool. I'm really good at Fusion 360. That's the one I know how to do. I feel like the user interface is just so much easier for someone like me, but doing organic shapes in Fusion is rather difficult, which is why my previous staff wound up so like boxular, but this one still has kind of a boxy shape because honestly, I forgot to finish the design I had in my head along this line to make it less boxy, but I'm happy with it. And I like that it's simpler, it's lighter, it's requiring a lot less cleanup because it's a design my 3D printer has an easier time doing. I just think overall it's going to look really nice with the gold paint. Up top is the angel. So previously I had hand sculpted the face and the hair and everything on the angel, but this time to make it look a little more uniform, if it'll focus, I did find doll molds and use that for the face and the body, and then I have feather molds for the wings, and of course this design up here is a mold. The face wound up being smaller than I thought when I ordered it, so actually I had to just fill out the top area and make this sort of feathered crown just to fill all that part in, but it's just foam clay from the foamery. What's really funny about the molds that I picked up is I don't know who made it, but it's definitely someone's anime fantasy because the proportions are interesting and there's some anatomically correct parts that I did not see on the listing on Amazon. So I'm not going to show you the other, well, I'll show you the other side, but I'll cover it. It's a little sensor bar, so I'm going to cover up her anatomy, but I just did the torso from the doll build. I didn't bother with the arms, and then I did the head, and then I will sculpt by hand the hair over that, which I'm not a sculptor. I've never been good at 3D sculpting, which is probably why 3D modeling in Blender is so difficult for me to wrap my head around. I do what I can, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Once I finish the other side, I will prime this in that black stuff you saw on the other one, which is just Rapid Fill by Prop Monkey Studios. This stuff is really great. A lot of people use something called Plastidip, which is actually, I think, like an automotive primer or something like that, but it's incredibly toxic, and I hate using toxic things if I can avoid it. So this is non-toxic. Honestly, I think it's just like watered down clay dust or something. I don't know what it is, but you brush this on and then it can be sanded down by hand into a very nice finish. And you do this on top of the foam before you use any sort of aerosolized spray, like a spray paint primer or a spray paint, because that can eat away at your foam or sink into the pores and make everything look terrible. So this is how I'll be priming that before I go over the entirety of the piece with my Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 primer and then painting it with Rust-Oleum metallic paint like I normally do. I'll probably airbrush in some shadows though, or maybe I'll airbrush the gold this time instead. I don't know, I haven't decided on the paint, but here's that. There's also a globe I haven't printed yet. I have a new filament on the way that's going to sit in here, and then there's going to be some foam clay filigree. So this foam clay, more intricate work will be brought down here and balance it out a bit more. And on the bottom, we have this section. There's a housing which is actually still out in the garage. That's going to be glued into place. And there's a piece, this is the small one for the previous one, but it screws into the bottom so that I'm going to put some lights in the orb, and that way I can unscrew the top from the staff to both pack it away for travel as well as get to the electronics as needed. But that's where I'm at with the staff so far. And then the next part is something that I was really wanting to have for this build, but was uncertain if I will be able to do it or not because I am not an armor builder. I want to be, but I'm not right now. In the very first picture, she has a gauntlet, and it's not something that's seen anywhere else in the artwork of the ceremonial dress that I have seen. I didn't see it anywhere else in the book. I'm sure it's explained, but I haven't read the whole thing yet. So this gauntlet has been challenging. I kept going back and forth between how I wanted to do it, but my first choice was always that I wanted it in leather. I'm not a leather worker yet, and I have attempted in this build to use leather, and those have all failed, and I moved on and just used fabric instead. So I did some experimentation with using fabric as well as leather for this. One of my main problems is the color. The color of the gauntlet is this light gold, and gold is hard to do on leather. I can't gold leaf it. I tried that and did some more research, and it just turns out that gold leaf, I guess the way it dries down on leather, it winds up cracking and peeling off, and the way you get gold leaf into leather is with heat, like a hot press. So that's just not going to work for what I want. I had gold leather paint, which I don't think I have any more left to show you. I had two different kinds, both by Angelus, which is the #1 paint for leather. You paint that on and it can bend and take damage and be perfectly fine. It's wonderful. But I tried that, and gold, it's not that bright, shiny metallic gold it says it is, which is the problem with almost all metallic paints that drives me up the wall. Don't call it metallic if it's not really metallic. If it doesn't look like liquid metal, then it's not metallic, it's glittery or shimmery or it's pearlized. It's not metallic, but they call it metallic and it's not metallic. So I've tried a couple different ones because they have one I think called like gold leaf, and they have one that was just gold. Neither of them, they're like the same paint. Neither of them work. And to rethink how I am going to do this. So I went back and forth. I had some gold like pleather. I tried embroidering on it. That just didn't work. So in the end, I have settled back on leather. The problem with me and leather is also that I'm new. I'm very new. I have dabbled in it a little bit. I've taken a course at DragonCon from a leather working master and have the basics down. And recently I purchased this Leather and Cosplay book by Wig Cosplay. I highly recommend this book. It is very, very good. There's a lot of tips in here for the basics of working with leather. That combined with the knowledge I got from the teacher in the class that I took, I think was really helpful. But I still struggle with being able to get things symmetrical, being able to cut things well, and it has been a while since I've worked with leather, so I feel incredibly out of practice. I feel like I was better at it 8 months ago than I am now. So I decided to try something. I decided to try to draw out the pattern on my Cricut and have my Cricut cut it into the leather. So the way that leather tooling works is first you cut your design into the leather, and then you use a bunch of various tools to press and mold and lift the leather and burnish it to give it depth and interest and all that stuff. So I struggle with the cutting part, so I thought, why not use my Cricut to do the cutting for me, and then I can design it in Illustrator, and then I know it's symmetrical and I know I'll get clean cuts, and I know that I can get it to engrave everything the way that I want. So let's try that. So that is what I did, and I will go into the specifics of how I did it whenever I make the fuller video, but I'm very happy to say it works. So I'm very pleased with how this turned out, and I'm very pleased with the design that I landed on, because there's not a lot to go off of in the artwork, and I was really stuck on that for a while. So I finally drew something out and decided to bring the quilting from my panels back into the leather, and I'm really happy with it. So after my machine did a good chunk of the work for me, I went in with my tools and I tooled around the design to give it depth and give it a little bit of burnishing. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. I've got all the pieces cut out now, and I am just waiting for the dye to get here because I'm going to color this a little differently than the book. So I think what I'm going to do is dye it a lighter tan color, and that's going to be the depth layer of shading, so that's going to go into all the shadows. And I think I'm going to very gently brush on top of the raised parts gold, and I have 3 or 4 different kinds of gold paint coming. I've got like a rub and buff, which I'm not a fan of, and a couple other items. I'm going to do some tests on some scrap pieces of leather and see how those work before I make my final decision on how I'm going to get this piece gold. If I have to, I can go back to the gold leather paint, but I really don't want to. Another option I have is to just dye it and then paint the like glossy clear top coat and then do gold on top of that. I heard that might work to give me the shine and the finish that I want. So many experimentations I have to play with, so if anything's going to get done in time for a video, it will be this, but I really think that next week will probably just be another update. But I will also show you, I am experimenting with stitching in the grooves to create a quilting design as well, to add a little bit of sparkle and visual interest. All that will have to be hand stitched, so we'll see how I feel about that. I just realized that I cut this out and my quilting is bigger than on this, and I can't decide if I am okay with that or not. I'll have to think about it as well. That's what happens when you do things when you don't feel well. But maybe this will just be another trial piece for dyeing and painting before I commit to this. This one might also be remade. Again, I'm still very new to tooling, and it's not perfect. I'm happy with it, but it's not perfect. So we'll see how I feel about that. But I got all the pieces cut out, so now I just need to poke all the holes in it and then work on trying out dyeing and painting and burnishing the edges, of course. But that's where I'm at so far this week. Very excited to get this moving. Oh, One quick announcement, I will be guesting at Animate Orlando weekend of August 14th. I don't know what my panels are going to be. I'll be there for the full weekend. So if you want to drop by and say hi, if you're in the area, please come by my booth. I'm always happy to see people who follow my content. It's very exciting. And I actually might be debuting my Sakizo dress while I'm there, not for very long. I'm trying to get a photo shoot lined up, so I've got some nice photos to include in my build book, but also I want to do a wear test, and I don't really have anywhere near my house to do that, so it just makes sense to take it up to the convention, find a quieter area, and walk around, see what else I need to do to polish it up. So if you want to see my Sakizo dress in person and be one of the first people to see it, Animate Orlando will be the place to do so. So with that, again, if you like my video, hit the like button, hit subscribe to see more content from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!